If you hate telemarketers ruining your day by calling you and leaving voicemails, then you'll hate this new proposition the FCC is considering. Currently, there is a do not call registry. A lot of people, myself included, still get a lot of spam calls because they are not real lines. They are just throwaways. Who's gonna police that? You
I'm so
over
angry.
my Harley Quinn.
I'm kicking Harley over.
Well, she doesn't deserve that. But now they're considering some new rules that would allow telemarketers to skip the ringing and go straight to voicemail. Now you may think, oh good, they're not going to be bothering me on my, when I'm waiting for a call or whatever. But it's already kind of a legal gray area. Some places take it to mean that if they skip the ring and go straight to voicemail, they're not culpable under current laws, do not call laws, so that you could potentially have a slew of voicemails from political parties, from someone trying to sell you something, from different providers of insurance. It could lead to a situation in which you have a massively full inbox of, I don't even know, and it goes straight in. It's not regulated as well. It is a gray area, as I said, but some companies are taking it to mean, oh, we can just leave anything here.
Who wants to be on the call list?
I don't.
Who's like, you know what? Keep me on this list so that I can get a phone call followed by me picking it up and a silence.
Honestly, I would say probably the elderly who don't really use computers.
Who don't, but like who?
Or know
but
that
like,
this exists.
I'm never interested in hearing about a timeshare. Like I'm never
gonna buy anything on the phone, period.
Exactly. And I don't enjoy the feeling. No one in the history of the world has gotten that call and been like, actually, you're right, I should restructure my credit card debt. That's bull S. I don't like that, and I think they shouldn't do this either. On the upside, when you get that phone call, then you can say, typically, please put me on your do not call list. The downside is they're robocalls so often, and even worse, they're pretending to be people. So so I got a call the other day where it's like, hi, it's Mark. So how are you? And I said, I'm all right. And then it's just the recording paused long enough for me to say that, and then it picks back up. That's great. So I just wanted to know if you were interested in learning more about what's wrong with your credit card. And that's what's so frustrating is I'm not talking to a person and I have to listen to the whole thing before I get put on the do not call list. Also, it's ambiguous as to whether if I take myself off this do not call list, are those same people just starting a new call list up with that same number on it?
There's a lot of ways to skirt this issue. In particular, one group called All About the Message, which is already a service that would allow callers to skip the ring and go straight to voicemail, is petitioning the FCC. In that petition, they have laid out their argument for this. The act of depositing a voicemail on a voicemail service without dialing a consumer's cellular telephone line does not result in the kind of disruptions to a consumer's life, dead air calls, that's what you meant, calls interrupting consumers at inconvenient times, or delivery charges to consumers. Sure, but it's still annoying as hell, and I don't want you monopolizing my voicemail box. It doesn't deserve to be a spam box.
There's nothing convenient about his situation. It's always an inconvenience to have to go through your voicemail and nestled among calls from people you need to hear
I'm
of.
I'm gonna listen to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen.
Because I wanna know what it is.
And then what do I do now if I don't want it? If I don't want them to reach out to me anymore? I have to call them back? That's an inconvenience. We already have set up the dynamic by which I am entitled to disinvite myself from whatever list they have. And their justification for this is that it doesn't cost money, but it does cost me money to call and find a way to get the hell off their list. So that same dynamic applies here. And no one wants it. Nobody in their right mind wants this. And they're trying to find a way to get it done. And it's not like there is a dearth of opportunities to advertise to people now. I spend so much more of my time focused on the screen as an average consumer that there are ways you can reach out to me. So you don't need this. And I think we aren't inconveniencing commerce by not allowing this.
Yeah, it's just a nuisance, basically. As far as I'm concerned, it is
invasive.
It's an invasive nuisance that it's not any better just because it skips the ring. It's still annoying. It's still something I don't want to have. It's still someone taking advantage of gray area in the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, which is from 1991, by the way, over 20 years ago, which means there's plenty of more opportunities to skirt it, jump in the gray area because it's so old and doesn't cover certain things. Audience, there is a way for you to comment on this as the public. If you do, I may recommend that you make it clear you are not a bot like what had happened during the FCC Public Commenting Act for net neutrality, Title II restrictions. Please do that, and please like and subscribe for more.